Most guys think women want this big, bulky guy with a whole bunch of muscle. They want the Chris Bumstead. They want the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And in some cases, that might be true. Some women want that big dog, but the vast majority of women want the lean dog, you know? And I remember when Creed came out, when the Black Panther came out, you ask any woman, her celebrity crush was Michael B. Jordan. And Michael B. Jordan's like 5'11", 6 foot, and he stayed around 170 to like 180 pounds, right? So he was fairly lean. And if you look at Michael B. Jordan, he's a good looking guy, but he is not the most attractive by any means. If you take away the body game, the fact that he works out, he's not that good looking. If you truly look at it. Now, I know status also plays a role in that. You know, everybody knows the name. He's in all the movies. Yeah, women are going to be attracted to that just off the status too. But if he did not work out, if he did not have a physique, women would have not been talking about it. And women talking like he's the most attractive man on earth. But if you look at his face, he really not the most attractive man on earth, you know? So I know some guys, they say, you know, you're either ugly or you're attractive. But I think the vast majority of guys, you look at them and you say they're ugly, it's because they have fat on their face. They're not in good shape. You know, and I tell y'all, like, women look at men, you know, that whole V taper, it's a attraction cue. You know, it's in her nature to look at that healthy man and say, oh, I want to reproduce with them, right? So don't shame women because they say, oh, I don't want to date a fat guy. That's in their nature. Why would she not want the healthiest offspring? So if she looks at you and you're sloppy, you're out of shape, why would she want a future with you? Unless she is sloppy and out of shape, you know? And that's usually how it goes. You attract what you are, you know? So realize that you do have a lot of control over your face, right? You don't have to go rush into getting these surgeries and doing all these little enhancement things. You know, some enhancements are good. I think a lot of guys go too far with certain shit. But if you're not in good shape, don't be worrying about any of that other shit. You need to hit the gym first and get your face lean, man, because your cheekbones, your jawline are going to look completely different. And this one guy I'm thinking of had recently shaved his face. And this is an older guy. And he said he shaved his face because his wife wanted him to shave it. She'd never seen him without a beard, so he shaved his face. And when we seen this, man, we was like, what happened to you? Looks completely different. And not in a good way. And the wife was like, never shave your face again. You need to keep that beard. And he like, I tried to tell you. And he looks so different because he does not have a good jawline. And he had fat on his face. He holds a lot of fat in his face. So as soon as he shaved that beard, oh my Lord. His wife probably doesn't even find him attractive when he shaves that beard. Because he's been hiding the jawline with the beard. So, you know, if you're on the bigger end, if you're bulking, I suggest you grow out your beard. You know, if you have a good jawline, then that's when you might want to be clean shaven or keep a low stubble. You know, so realize that your body fat percentage plays a big role in your face, right? I've seen people in the comment section like, oh, I've seen big guys that are attractive. And to me, I've never seen that. Like, especially, I'm not looking at dudes like that, you know, I'm straight. But even when it comes to women, like, I hardly ever see a big woman, a big back, beluga back well, that I'm like, dang, she's bad. She's attractive. I see a lot of big chicks, and I'm like, yo, if she lost 50 pounds, she'd be bad. You know, I told y'all a story about this one chick at Chick-fil-A. She probably had the most beautiful eyes I've seen in my life. But the girl was like 300 pounds, just big back. And I was just like, damn, dog. And she was super light-skinned. I like the light-skinned girl that almost looked white. She was one of them. Like, you could tell she was light-skinned, but she, like, borderline looked white. You know, in the wintertime, she looked white. In the summertime, she looks tan. She looks more mixed in the summertime. But she had the most beautiful eyes. They were, like, a greenish, bluish color. But she was just big as hell. So it's like, even though you have amazing eyes, you got all this fat on your face. You're not even attractive. Well, I don't find any of these big backs attractive. I know some guys find big girls attractive, but that's never been me. You know, and that's how it is for a lot of guys, too. Like, a woman will not find you attractive because you're holding too much fat. You know, you can grow out your beard and try to hide it a little bit, but then you still holding fat other places, man, and she's not going to get turned on by that. Like I say this all the time, man. How is she going to get turned on looking at your body when you got titties? When you got a gut? She got to pull your gut up to suck your meat. Like, how is she going to get turned on by that? Like, is she going to get wet by that? Like, really think about it. You know, like I said, a lot of this just in a woman's psychology. You know, she's into that V taper. That's just a cue for health. That's saying that you're healthy. That's saying that you will give her good offspring. So you look healthier. You're going to walk with more confidence when you're on the leaner side. Now, you can go too far. And I'll tell y'all this many times, you can go too far. You know, once you get below like 8%, 7%, now you might start losing. Your testosterone might start dropping. You know, you can get too lean. And I've been about 7-8% before, just not eating enough calories. So that's why I said, like, the sweet spot for most guys is 10 to 13. And like I said, studies show that women find 10 to 12 the most attractive. That 10 to 12% body fat is the most attractive. And the reason why most guys will never be lean, because they never have tracked the calories. They never try to tighten up their diet. And for me, I didn't have to do too many differences because I always worked out. I was, you know, always getting after it. But the main thing I just did, I'll replace my snacks. I used to eat a lot of chips. I used to eat a lot of gummy bears, gummy worms. I replaced all that. You know, the worst snack I eat now is like, I might get beef jerky every now and then. And beef jerky can get expensive, so I try not to. But I eat a lot of nuts. I eat a lot of fruit. Find things you can replace in your diet. Instead of eating all that candy, now I just look for fruit. You know, instead of eating chips all the time, I just look for nuts. You know, so find things you can replace, more healthy stuff. And I know a lot of people just focus on the macro, but you also got to focus on the micronutrients too, because that's something I did for a long time. I would just neglect the micronutrients. But it's like, you're going to feel better when you're eating the right fruits and vegetables. You're going to have a different type of energy. And that's why I always tell y'all, like, pay attention to what foods make you feel good. And I'm not talking about foods that give you a burst of energy for like an hour or two and then you crash. Focus on eating the foods where you eat it and you feel good the whole day. When I wake up and have a smoothie, I feel good. When I wake up, I might have some boiled eggs, I feel good. So focus on the foods that really make you feel good and give you energy throughout the day, not this high and then you crash and then you don't feel good. You know, a lot of y'all have a very hard time working out and staying consistent because you don't have the energy for that. Because your dopamine is all messed up because you're getting this quick dopamine from food. You're getting this quick dopamine from social media. You're getting this quick dopamine from video games, from pornography. You're getting this consistent high, low, high, low, high, low. You always feel drained. So now you can't even do something difficult like going to the gym. That's really not that difficult. Now you dread going to work. And I know a lot of guys, they drinking energy drinks every single day. Some of them might drink 2 energy drinks a day to the point where, like, they don't have the caffeine, they get a headache. You don't want to fall into that trap. I might use a pre-workout every now and then. Usually I do a half a scoop. You know, if I'm really not feeling it one day, or it's like leg day, I might be like, man, bump it. Let's do half a scoop. Because I'm not trying to do too much. But a lot of y'all guys, and I remember 2 years ago, man, I used to go to a different gym. And there would be a lot of teenagers in there, like guys still in high school. And I would run into it. It'd be like, I'd run into them. It'd be like 6, 7 p.m. and they double scooping pre-workout. And I'm like, dude, you're not going to build muscle because you double scooping this pre-workout. Now you're working out at 7 p.m. So you probably won't be done until like 9 p.m. You got to drive home, take a shower, everything. By that time, it's 11, 12. And now you still got the caffeine in your body. You still got this caffeine in your body, so you're not getting good sleep. So now you might sleep, 4 or 5 hours of quality sleep. And it probably not that quality sleep either. So sleep is very important, man. Watch out when you're taking your caffeine. After 3, 4 p.m., you shouldn't really be looking at any caffeine. And if you are, it should be a very low dosage, you know? And that's the type of stuff you really got to pay attention to, man. Because I've known guys that they've been consistent in the gym, but their diet is complete trash, and they don't get enough sleep. Those are 2 very important building blocks to building muscle. So, I mean, it's cool to get lean, but you want to be lean with some muscle. You know, you don't want to be just that skinny, scrawny guy. Because some women are into that, but the vast majority, they want some muscle on you, man. And the only downside, I can say this has been one downside to being lean. And this only happened to me one time. Most women haven't had a complaint. I remember I was working at this Italian restaurant quite a while ago. And this one girl I was seeing, she had messed with this other guy that used to work there. And I asked her, like, why she started messing with him. And she was like, I hooked up with him one time. And I didn't enjoy the experience because, 1, I wasn't really into him. And then 2, he's just so skinny and bony. Like, he kept poking me. His hips kept poking me. And I had got lean not that long ago, maybe like a year ago. I was pretty damn lean because I was in the boxing gym. I wasn't eating as much. So I got pretty lean, and I had experienced that with a girl I was seeing. Like, we was hooking up and my hips like started poking her, and she was like, that hurts. And that honestly, that was the only downside. Like, I might have got a little bit too lean where my hips were like more bony than they usually would be. And then, you know, some of that's genetics too, how your hips just sit. But I say that's the only downside of being on the leaner side. And then, you know, some clothing doesn't look like you lift. Like, you know, when you have more baggy clothing on, you might look like you don't lift at all when you're on the leaner side. But I kind of like that sometimes. I kind of like having a sleeper build. You know, women see you and then they see you without the clothes on. Now they even more impressed. It's like, let's say you got 2 cars and you go on a date with your cheaper car, you know, your point A to point B type car, and then you have like a sports car or some exotic car at the house. It's like, she's going to be more impressed when she sees that on the back end, you know. But I like to use the body game. You know, we put so many hours in the gym. Why not flaunt your body every now and then? You know, a lot of people hate it and shame you and you look like an F-boy, but hey, you don't put in all them hours. Don't let people tell you how to live your life, man. But yes, man, y'all really want to get down to below 13% body fat. Like I said, the most attractive is 10 to 12. I know a lot of things depend on genetics, how you hold your weight, where do you hold it. But women are going to be a lot more attracted to you when you build that lean physique with some muscle on it, when they can see your veins. You know, women, I've talked to many women, they are very attracted to veins. I say that's one of the main things I hear. Women want ambition. They want a man that's gonna hustle, and I always hear they like a man with strong arms and veins. That's probably some of the most main things I hear when I ask women what are they really attracted to. And another thing, you know, I say like my hips being bony and poking a girl, that was the only downside, but I can say there was many pros when it came to sexual encounters too. You know, that blood flow is definitely a lot better. I know a lot of guys, they'll say like, oh, semen retention, you know, you'll get rocked up better. I really haven't had that experience when I went on semen retention. Honestly, there was some cons to semen retention. And that's why I don't like when guys come online and they act like semen retention is just everything perfect. And I think some guys exaggerate it because it makes it easier to stick to it when you exaggerate it, when you make it seem like it's a bigger deal than what it is. But I've been on semen retention and it seemed like I wasn't getting erections as often. So they weren't as strong when I did get them. And then when I really did get it on with women, dog, you popping hella quick. Right? You get super sensitive, right? So you have your meat's gonna be very sensitive when you haven't touched it in weeks or months, and you haven't got no coochie in weeks or months, you know. So there definitely was cons to that. But I say like eating healthier, eating more fruits and vegetables, and doing cardio, dog, your erections will be on a different level. Your erections will be on a different level when you're eating fruits and vegetables and you're doing cardio. You're going to notice a huge difference in the bedroom. I promise you. You're going to go longer and you're going to go stronger, especially when you start implementing some leg days in your routine. Yes, dude, you're going to notice a huge difference. When I started eating more fruits and vegetables, that thing get rocked up like no other. That thing get rocked up like no other. Like sometimes you be in some guts and you be like, damn, this shit looking a little bigger than what it usually is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, your diet is super important when it comes to erection and stuff like that. When you eating like watermelon, pineapple, you know, a lot of this citrus fruit too, you know, it helps with blood flow. And that's not just good for, you know, your sexual health, it's good for your overall health, you know. So y'all, if you've never been lean before, I don't want to hear you talk about any of this, oh, you know, I'm just ugly, or I don't have the best genetics. If you haven't been below 12%, 13% body fat with a decent amount of muscle, I don't want to hear any of that shit. I don't want to hear any of that shit. First, get in shape, do the work, and then if it don't work out to you, then come to me. Be on body game for a year. Be on body game for 2 years, and then come back to me. Y'all be too quick to give up. Y'all be too quick to say something doesn't work because there's going to be moments when it's tough. You know, stop expecting this shit overnight. Just because we live in a microwave society, don't be thinking like that. Don't be thinking like everybody else. Because like I said, most of these people out here, they're not happy. Most of these people out here aren't living good lives. So stop thinking like most people. Man, it's time to get lean. If y'all lock in right now, you know, summertime really isn't that far away. It's January 2025. Summertime is not isn't that far away. It's time to lock in right now. And by the summertime, you can be lean, you can be jacked, and you can have an amazing summer and really show that body game. And like I say all the time, that physique is going to turn to a freak. Your reality will be different. But that's all I got for y'all today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.